Welcome back. It's the Candid Camper, and this is Candid Camper's Theme Park Thoughts. And we have Mr. Webba again back for episode 3. And today we are going to do the top 5 worst rides at Disneyland. We already did the other 2 episodes, so go check them out. Episode 1 was best top 5 rides at Disneyland, and then the second one was top 5 rides over at DCA that we liked. So we're going to keep going with the theme of what's the worst. And then next episode, catch Mr. Webby is going to be back on again. So episode 4, it's going to be the worst of DCA, and then we'll give you guys a little bit of a break. But Mr. Webba, how you doing? Where can they find you, and how you doing?
Yeah, thank you so much, for TheCandidCamper, for having me back on your show for this awesome and probably very controversial discussion here a little bit.
Oh, yeah, it's probably the most controversial out of all of them so far.
Yes, absolutely. But you can find me on Twitter, Threads, and Instagram at Mr. Webba91. You can also find me on TikTok, which was new. Thanks for TheCandidCamper at Mr._Webba91. You can also find me on Orange Girl 55 on YouTube with OG and George the Disney Italiano.
Yep. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm going to leave all his links down below. And then also shout out to the boys, OG55 and the Italiano. Go show them some love too. Everybody, don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel, to Mr. Webba, and to the OG crew. And then also we cannot forget Tones, my other half that hasn't been a part of this yet, but hopefully he'll join at some point. So go follow Tones, or Bad Thoughts Podcast is another one we're at too. Also, go check me out on all my stuff, which is the same as the TheCandidCamper. So Instagram, TikTok, which I'm mostly on, and then YouTube, of course. Awesome. Enough about that stuff. I want to talk to you a little bit about the worst rides in Disneyland. So the thing is that, there's rides that you're always going to be like, yeah, you know what? I'm never going to do that again. And then you'll walk by and it's like, holy shit, there's an hour wait for that ride. Why? That is literally the top 5 worst rides I've ever been on. Also, for the people watching, I'm a frequent Disneyland goer. Same with Mr. Webba. So our opinions are more based off of going 150 million times versus that one person that just gotten to go. I will never tell anybody not to ride a ride in the Disneyland park. Every ride there at Disneyland is worth going on at least once. And I want you guys to be able to create your own magic. This is our own opinions. And like we said the last 2 episodes, it's our opinions. And if you would like to argue about our opinions, then go ahead and state your opinion because you have your own too. But I don't give a fuck. This is my show. And this is Mike Webba, and he's about to tell you how it is. So, Mike, what is your thoughts on people going to the parks for the first time and someone just kind of scaring them not, say, hey, you shouldn't ride that. Has anyone ever done that to you before you went to park? Like, hey, you know what? This ride is not that good. You should skip it. And then you went back to Disneyland or another park like 2 times later and you actually rode it and you enjoyed it.
Yeah, so not specifically at Disneyland, but at other theme parks, I've had that happen. Like, oh, don't do that ride, it's not good. I'm really about like always giving a ride a fair shot, right? Or a show or some type of attraction. A fair shot, do it first, experience it before you give it the final judgment. However, the only rule that I don't apply that to is for things that are super up high, like heights, right? I've always said I'm afraid of heights. So if I'm going to go to Six Flags, I'm not going to go on Goliath. Okay. Like there's no way, and so I would say the only attraction or ride I haven't been on at the Disneyland Resort is the Pixar Pal Around Mickey's Death Wheel, because that thing is just
Death Wheel.
Yeah. No, that is going to fall over.
Dude, okay. So I know this is going to veer off, but I've been on that thing probably like 2 or 3 times, and I shit a brick the first time I went on it. And then I was like, you know what? I'm not scared. I did not enjoy myself. But then my wife wanted to go on it, and I was like, I'll do it for you. And I got on again. I'm like, I do not like this. It's not fun. Yeah. It's not fun. You go around a circle, you stop, and then you swing for some weird reason that feels like it's going to fall off the track. And it's just everyone, their mom's just yelling because they're like all scared out of their fucking mind. And then it's like sunk into the ground so you can see the ground, but then there's water around the ground. It's fucking weird, man. And not only that queue line is just fucked up too. And I don't want to go too far into it because this is probably going to make my top 5 DCA worst. And you're just going to snippet of it because fuck that ride. Anyways, so I feel the same way. I will never, like, I've had a buddy that just recently went to the parks for the first time. He's from Minnesota, so he's actually never been to even California. And you know, he went to Disneyland. I told him this is the way I would do it. I would ride all these rides. Like, you have to do these rides first, then everything else is a second. Nothing's bad, but don't do these ones first. And I think that's okay. Like, don't do them
Yeah.
first. And shit you not, he got on every single ride that I mentioned, multiple times on some of them, and he had a blast. And there was some stuff he couldn't get on because they closed and all that, and so he
Yeah.
substituted those for some other rides that I wouldn't have substituted with, but they were in the area. And he still had a good time. But I would never tell someone like, hey, you know what, this ride sucks, especially your first time. Give it a chance. Everything deserves a chance. I will tell you a little bit about some rides that I'm like, you might want to wear a mouth guard when you ride that one, or a back brace. We all know what you're talking about. But it's a great ride. All right, Mike. Once again, just like the other two episodes, you're going to kick us off with your top 5 worst rides. And we're going to start off at number 5, going to number 1. What's your number 5, Mike?
Got it. All right, bro. Well, my number 5 is going to be Smuggler's Run. Okay.
Oh, you said controversial.
Yes.
Controversial. Okay.
Now, keep in mind, at the time of this recording, the new updated stuff for the future of Smuggler's Run hasn't come out yet. So I'm only basing it off of the one that we have currently that opened up with the land, right?
Yep.
It was fun. So here's the thing. I love Star Wars. I do. So this is why this ride is on the last part of this list of like the least worst, because I love Star Wars. I'm biased, so I will admit that. However, it's still on the worst list because the attraction itself, while the outside you see the Millennium Falcon, it's amazing, right? It's cool. You get to be in the cockpit, right? However, I do have a lot of issues with it. One is it's the same scene over and over again, which again they are going to change. But 2, is I hope they update this, is the screen, the graphics. It looks like it's very video gamey. I don't like that. I want to see more
natural,
more realistic looking stuff like in Star Tours or something. This is very like, you can tell it's very video gamey. I don't like that either. And it's just, it's for what it is, and like the hype around about being inside the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon. It just doesn't feel exciting. All the little roles you have. I mean, really, the people who have the most fun on it are the pilot and the co-pilot. The gunner, you can literally just hold the button and it will just auto blast for you. You know, I know that there is like an auto and manual setting before the ride starts, but if you hit auto, you can just push the button and just auto blast the entire time. Engineer, you're busy pushing buttons. Now, I've been on it enough times to where I can press it really fast and I can watch the ride, you know, and kind of enjoy it. But I don't want to do this stuff and then try to focus. I just want to sit there and enjoy the attraction.
Correct.
So for this type of ride and it being Star Wars, my expectations are a lot higher than what this ride delivers. And that's why this is on the higher end of my worst list.
Yeah. You know, I think that you're onto something there. I don't want to spoil my list. But I do agree with you. I don't ride that ride anymore. I've ridden it a couple times. Every time I go with someone new, I'll ride it, of course, just because they haven't been on it. But I played the game. I've been in a few different seats, and I mean, if someone's behind you sucking ass, it doesn't fucking matter what you push, unless you're driving it. That's the only time. Like, and even then. So yeah, no, I'm good. So my number 5 is Gadget's Go Coaster.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So first off, you're telling me Disney that you want me to wait in a 30-minute plus line to go on a 44-second ride? 44 seconds. And I even asked Webba this the other day. I thought it went around twice for some reason, but no, it goes around once. So you have to wait 30-minute plus for a 44-second ride. That does not calculate to anything. Not only that, one of the worst things, this is prior to when they redid it, but even now it's still nothing's working. The water effects I don't think are working yet, right? Is the water effects working yet?
Oh, I haven't. I thought they were.
Okay, maybe they are. Yeah, but either way, before when it was Gadgets Go Coaster, there was no theming to it. It was just a red ride with a fucking little hand thing, and that was it. So you want me to ride a generic roller coaster I could ride at any other Six Flags that takes 44 seconds and wait in a long ass line? It's not worth it. If you have kids, that's the only time I think it's worth going on. If you have little kids and it's their like first roller coaster, that's what that ride's designed for. And I understand I'm a big ass adult. I shouldn't be riding that stuff, but I'm also in Disneyland, so I shouldn't be in Disneyland either. But I am. Um, but yeah, no, I get your coaster credit and walk away. I wouldn't do it again if you've been there 1,000 times. I'm never going to go on that ride again unless my kids want to. Not only that, too, it's literally the last place in the park. Like it's the closest you can get to the edge of the park, even past Galaxy's Edge. Like this is past Galaxy's Edge. This is the last thing at the edge of the park. So if you really want to hike from the beginning of the park all the way to the back to go on Gadgets Go Coaster, you have a fucking issue. Don't ever do that. So that's my number 5.
Oh,
What's your number 4?
so my number 4 is actually here's another controversial one, Autopia.
Okay.
Yes, I have said it on Orange Grove 55, and I will say it here. I am a proponent of getting rid of Autopia completely. I understand the fun of it, of driving cars, and the kids be able to drive the cars. Fantastic, right? You get that nice smell of gasoline. So it's on number 4 on the higher end of my worst list, because I wouldn't say again it's like the most worst ride. Like I went on it like a couple times last year, so it's not like the worst thing ever. However, would I wait 40 minutes, an hour for this ride? No, I would absolutely not. There's really nothing special about this ride in my opinion. Now again, I'm speaking as someone who doesn't have children. Again, just putting it out there.
Yeah. Yep.
But my big problem with this ride though is that it takes up so much real estate. Like there's so much space that in today's age you could put 1 or even 2 amazing things in that back area that would be so much better than Autopia, than what we have at the moment. And you get in this car, it's on a track, and you drive around, and then sometimes you bump into people, and then recently we just had that vehicle that went off the track. So
that's fucking crazy.
Yeah,
I wish. That's more thrilling than the fucking ride.
So it's like, it's a nice little scenic drive, but again, it's nothing exciting. I'm not saying that everything has to be exciting, but it's not really like, it's not like engaging besides pushing your foot on the pedal and steering a little bit. And again, my problem is that it takes up so much space, and that the potential I see for that space for something much better, and yet we still have this very old, attraction that, a lot of the hardcore, enthusiasts still want to clamor onto this thing. And again, this is a kind of more of an original attraction. I get it. However, in today's time, let's get something better in that section. Like that thing needs to go away. I'm sorry, it does.
Yep. Oh yeah. All right. So I don't think mine's controversial at all, and it probably should be way higher on the list, but there's other things that I think are worse. And that is Astro Orbiter over in Tomorrowland.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So first off, it is really cool looking. Like it's cool looking. I like the way it looks. A lot of people hate that it's like the centerpiece of it, but it makes sense being the centerpiece. It is in a shitty fucking spot though. It is so hard to get past the little ass weird fucking French fry rocks, and then or whatever they are. Then you have to get past or it's not even French fry rocks anymore, right? Didn't they get rid of them and put like a weird ass like AstroTurf down or some shit, like fake ass flowers? Yeah. So either way, it was hard to maneuver before they changed all that around. The second thing about this ride is that it's just a fucking Dumbo ride that's less fun. It's a less fun Dumbo. I don't get how you can have a less fun Dumbo. It's a rocket ship. It is not made for big people at all, and it supposedly fits 2 people. Don't fucking do that at all, because you will not fit in there, especially if you're over 6 foot. Just don't even try. The loading process is ridiculous. It takes like 30 minutes for them to load everybody up and go around and check their fucking seatbelts. The switchbacks are just the most ghetto switchbacks you can get. It's like all compacted down. They're just literally metal beams. It doesn't have any Disney to it. It's not Disney magic. It's just a fucking circular ride, and that's all we got. Another thing too, it's hot as fuck. The sun's in your eyes where it's at normally, and you do get some good views of the park. I'll give them that. You get good views of the park from there. But that's
Okay.
it. Yeah, no. Long wait, no payoff, zero payoff.
Okay. Interesting. Yep. All right. So my number 3 is Gadgets Go Coaster, or I guess now Chippendale's Gadgets Go Coaster. I will say before I give the negatives, I want to give the positives for the new addition that they did to it to plus it up with the 2-town retheming, which I love, by the way. So let me first, before I get to why I think this is one of the worst rides, I do like that they added Chippendale and what's her name? The girl, I forgot what her name is. It's Gadget, right? I believe her name's Gadget. But I do like Chippendale in there and Gadget's in there. Well, there was something else in the ride that was there. I forgot what it was. But anyways, it's still the same coaster, same ride. It's too short for one. It gets really hot, and when you're in the queue, there's no shade, especially off of the fake Toontown rocks that are in the queue.
Oh, yeah.
The light, the sun, and the heat bounces off those things, and it just burns you to crisp in all directions.
Yeah.
It's not worth a 30 or 40, 50-minute wait at all. And even though it's a short ride, the loading is very slow. I don't know what it is. It just feels like it takes forever getting through that ride. I think it's because it's like this one train, so it takes forever.
Yeah.
I do like that there's a coaster for the kiddos in Toontown, because you have an old dark ride, a new dark ride, and a redone, thematically of a coaster that's there, right? So it's nice that there is a little coaster for the kids, but all in all, I still don't think it's worth it. If it's like 10 minutes, then yeah, go on it, right? Even 15, I'll probably wait for that. But any longer than that, no, it's not worth it at all. And like I said, it's all the way in the back. It's like in the hottest part of the park. There's besides it's weird, the queue, because it's outside. There's like some elemental fake Toontown work there, but again, it's not very impressive. At least not that I remember it being.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think that ride is worse than the last two I mentioned for sure. So that's why it's there. But I do have other 2 rides that I think are worse.
Yeah, and I think the mixture of the worst rides are kind of you're seeing them on this list from both of us, because my number 3 is Autopia. It's weird because I like the idea of Autopia if it was executed properly. Before, I thought it was going to get cut a long time ago, and then Honda came in. Fuck you, Honda. They're like, oh, here's 10 years, and you're like, fuck. They signed a 10-year contract to have their name on something, so now we have to wait 10 years to be able to get rid of this fucking thing, which just sucks. First off, this ride is super slow. Like, even I don't even know how fast they go. How fast do you think they go? Like 3 miles an hour, maybe 5.
It feels like 5, dude. Honestly, it's so slow.
So slow. To the point where even like kids are just kind of like my son, he was driving it and he was going pretty well. Then at some point he just like lost interest and let go of the wheel. And I'm like, it's not fun. Or he'll just fucking go like this and just shake the wheel and try to bounce off the fucking side, because that's fun. The other thing about it is that I can drive in real life, and I can go a lot faster than 5 miles an hour, and I don't have to smell diesel or whatever the fuck they're using to burn. So I think that's a big one too. Those fumes are so bad. I mentioned this before. Like, I feel bad for the cast members that work that ride, because they're sitting in that fumes all day, and that's gonna kill them or unalive them at some point. Like, you can't do that every single day. Coming home smelling like that too. The next thing is that there's more theming now, because Honda put in that like little space dude or whatever the hell it is, but that's it. Otherwise, it's like just a scenic drive, which, don't get me wrong, I actually do enjoy driving through there. It is shaded most of the parts. You can see the monorail. You get to see a couple other rides back there, the lagoon, which is really cool. But at the same time, that queue line, you're definitely in the sun the whole time. All the way from the side, like, so you walk up this long ass ramp. It's a long ass queue, stretches over like half the park. It feels like it's huge, and there's always like 5 people in line. But
Yeah.
even though there's 500 cars, it still takes you like an hour to get loaded onto the ride. It is
Oh,
ridiculous. It's just stop and go, stop and go, stop and go. And even though there's a whole bunch of like cars, it's just weird. So it's not my favorite thing. Now looking through it at a lens of being a father, my son wanted to go on this one. It was one of the main things he wanted to do, and he really wanted to sit in the red car. So we actually got on the ride. My son asked the cast member if he can wait for a red one. The cast member was amazing, got us into a red car. And then the coolest thing that this cast member did, I can't remember the name. I wish I did. They asked if I wanted a picture with my kid. So I gave him my phone, and they stopped the line, which was really kind of fucked up, but stopped the line for us and took a few pictures of me and my son in the car and like him driving. So it was really magical, and I got some magic out of it. But he was not as into it the second time. And even like I said, the first time he was happy and excited, but when it got towards the end, it was kind of and like you said earlier, Mike, that ride's so long. It's such a long ride for what it is. 5 miles an hour going around that whole track feels like 5 days, and it just takes up a huge. It's just a fucking huge footprint it's taken up. It can go. It can fucking go.
Oh, absolutely. 100% agree, bro. 100% agree.
Yeah. What's
Absolutely.
your number 2, boss?
Oh, number 2, Finding Nemo Submarine Voyage.
There it is. Okay.
Yes, there it is. Finding Nemo. Here's the thing. As someone or a millennial, right? I have a great fond for 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. I still think that ride was superior to Finding Nemo. That ride had actual like audio animatronics in the water, like physical assets in the water, right? It was just really cool, man. Then you had like the sea serpent in there, the mermaids, right? It was dope. And again, it was I know it's based off like the book, right? But again, I thought it was more cool because it was kind of like tied to more, even though mermaids and sea serpents aren't real.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
I like that it felt more like kind of adventurous.
Yeah,
like so
that
to
makes
speak.
sense.
Whereas Finding Nemo is just more like kind of what they say it was like this sequel to Finding Nemo or something like that. Or you're basically going through the same story almost.
Yeah,
So
it's a little, I don't know.
yeah, and I went on it one time, and my wife was like, "Oh," she was begging me to go on it. I'm like, "No, that ride is not fun at all. I'm not going to take you on the ride. It's not fun. It's the subs, while beautiful, the lagoon and like the rock work, while beautiful, that ride is not it. And I think that we either need to do something with those subs. Again, I get it for nostalgia purposes. But if we can't find a better use for those subs or something, we need to replace it with something that does still have the beautiful water and the rock work, right? Because I think we can still do that. But these subs are very slow loaders, unload and unload. You're very crammed in there in like this claustrophobic space. I'm not claustrophobic that much. Like I know OG is for sure, but that space is really tight in there. And again, it's like that line is not worth it, dude. There's nothing exciting happening in the ride. Like it's just a bunch of digital screens that you see of stuff that you pretty much have seen in the movie. And I'm sorry, that's not exciting at all. That's not exciting. It is not worth the wait.
No, and I agree with you because that's also my number 2. And yeah, if you want to know what's so fucking funny about that, what you just said, that is digital screens and claustrophobic, and our boy OG55, go check him out, like and subscribe. If you don't want to wait in line, you can ask a cast member to take you into the this little room, which is made for like handicap folks, so they can watch the same thing. It's literally the same video if someone had a camera and they faced it out of the little portal or porthole, and that's all it is.
Yeah,
that's all it is. There's nothing to this fucking ride. Nostalgia, I understand nostalgia. The lagoon, my God, it's fucking gorgeous. It is gorgeous lagoon, and it is picture worthy. And being able to have different layers, seeing it from different rides, seeing it from the Matterhorn, seeing it from the monorail, like it's beautiful. And then getting Nemo in there, them redoing everything and just making it way more vibrant, and it's gorgeous. It would suck to lose water at Disneyland. That's the one thing that Disneyland really lacks is water. There's only probably a couple spots where you get to see a good amount of water. and it sucks because Disney does a great job with most of their water features too. So losing that would suck. Like you said, claustrophobia, like claustrophobic central in that place. I'm not claustrophobic at all, but I do not like doing that. I don't want to do it. I'm too tall for that thing, so I'm like crouched over, like hunchback, trying to get down there.
Yeah.
It feels dangerous for some reason. Like I feel like that ride is dangerous. Like you're not supposed to do this. It's super slow. It smells like fucking asshole in there. Literally smell. It literally smells like just raunchy Disneyland butthole. You know what I mean? Like you got some folks walking 19 miles and they go and sit in that little claustrophobic time capsule, and it smells like ass. So that's one thing. Go ahead.
Okay, sorry. I also want to bring this up too. I prefer actually deep sea adventure at Legoland over finding.
You know why? Because that ride's really fucking good. That ride is so good. We're gonna talk about that on another show. Another thing too is the windows. Those windows are hit and miss. Like some of them are all scratched up. Some of them just look like shit, or they're all foggy. Like it just wasn't good. The wait time, one of the worst wait times in all the parks. And that ride goes down so much too that you can wait for 30 minutes, be halfway through the queue, and the ride goes down. You're fucked. So like I said, I've been on it. Last time I went to Disneyland, I went on it with my son. We didn't actually go on the ride. We went and watched it, the little viewing room, because I wasn't going to stand an hour long line for something that's probably going to go down. Last thing is, why is this still fucking around? Why is this around? Is it around because of nostalgia? Is it around because there's nothing to put in there right now? Or is it there because we don't know what the fuck we're going to do with our money? We rather just waste money. And I can't remember who told us this, but the lagoons are the cost the most to upkeep in the whole park.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised because think about like all the maintenance you have to do for it, right? Like making sure it's clean, making sure all like the plumbing and the water is working correctly, right? Making sure that all your technical stuff inside like the show building is working correctly, right? Making sure that the submarines are working, right? Like this attraction costs an arm and a leg to like upkeep, you know?
Yep.
And why people still go on it, really, I don't know. I think it's probably because most people haven't been inside a submarine, or at least this submarine before. I mean, most people don't go on a submarine at all, right? That's like mostly military stuff. But I think people like the concept of going inside a submarine, you know. But this ride is not worth the wait. I'll tell you that right now.
Nope.
And I actually know what I would put in place of this ride too. But that's for another video.
That's for another video. You're gonna catch. So everybody, this is only episode 3. So you're gonna hear us say this for another video quite a bit. Just because this is just getting kicked off. I have a whole list. I already showed Mr. Webber the whole list of all these videos I want to get done. The cool thing is that you're probably seen these videos before. How many top 10, top 5 videos of Disneyland are there on the internet? There's so many, but you're getting our top 10, our top 5s, and our reasons of what they are. And once again, these are our thoughts. They're not Disney's imprinting them into our brain and telling you what we should tell you. This is how we feel. And that's why you should watch our show, so you know how we feel, so you can feel the same way with us. And also, if you disagree, leave some comments below. I'm always down to talk about Disney. Even if you're right, like make a statement, say that you're right about something, and guess what? I'll tell you, like, you know, you're kind of right. Or I'll tell you, like, hey, dude, you're fucking wrong. But it's conversation. I love having a good conversation.
Well, also too, Ken. Also, the other thing I want to say to your point is that if people watching at home, you know, if one of your favorite rides is on our top worst, that's totally okay. If you said to me, "Hey, that's actually my favorite ride," that's cool. I have no problem with that.
I want to know why.
we want to know why. But you know, if it is, that's fine because you know people's opinions on stuff doesn't bother me, right? If you enjoy one thing and I don't, that's perfectly okay. Everybody enjoys Disneyland differently, right? And have different things of why they like or dislike. Yeah, I mean, I might be like, okay, that's kind of weird, but you know, whatever. It's always cool to talk about it, talk about why, and just see other people's likes or dislikes. You know.
I agree. All right, this brings us to our number ones, Mr. Webber. What is the worst ride at Disneyland for you? What is the worst ride?
Oh, so I'm glad you bring this up, Ken, because you already mentioned this one. Astro Orbiter.
Holy shit. Okay.
Yes. Yes, I will tell you why. Number one, this has the worst placement in any attraction history in the Disneyland park. And why is it smack down right at the center beginning of Tomorrowland? That doesn't make any sense. Number two, why is the queue this crappy, no theme, no immersiveness, zigzag switchback lane right down underneath the people mover? Right? I get it because you now put a ride in the center where now you get to have two pathways. So I guess
What's
that
weird though? It's almost one of those where you're like you're walking and then you can, if you can actually see to the left that there's a, because I always go to the right on that side. Always stick to your left though. But yeah, no, if you happen to look left, you can see the queue line.
Oh yeah,
that queue line, it does not stick out at all, and it's always so packed right there because it's bottlenecked that you don't see the ride. So you have to try to cut across all these people to get to the fucking line. Not good.
Exactly. So it's a bad placement, bad bottleneck it creates for the park, for one, right? Two, the queue line is the most uninspired queue line in ever of existence. Okay, I can make a better queue line than that, and I'm not even creative. Okay, number three, this ride or the version of this ride used to be in a better placement way back in the day. Back at the so you know where the people mover loader is, where that weird machine thing is at now. That rocket ride or older version of it used to be up at the top there. Yep. So if you wanted a more kind of thrilling experience in terms of being up high as well, that should be up there and out of the way of the walking guests.
And it looked cool. It looked iconic at that point. Like you walked in and it was like, oh, that's menacing.
Yeah, exactly. And again, Candy, you said it. It's a spinner ride. It's another Dumbo. We already have one. Why do we need another? This is our version of Magic Carpet Aladdin ride from Walt Disney World, right? Why do we have this ride? Just to fill a quota of quantity of rides? I don't think so. This ride is the worst thing in this park. It's uninspiring. Is theme? It's a rocket. Big deal. Lame queue. Bad placements. It's a very generic ride that we already have. That it's a better version in Fantasyland. At least that we have Dumbo, and Dumbo is a cute freaking character with Timothy the mouse. Okay, much better. Okay, this ride can just get chopped blocked all the way off. Okay, this thing needs to go
chopped blocked all the way off.
Yes, chopped blocked all the way off. Yeah, and again, this thing, there's no story to it. Right, you're just flying in a rocket. Big whoop. Like what's and here's the thing, I don't know why this line gets so long. It's go in Fantasyland and go to Dumbo. That's so much better.
If you want to stand in a long ass line, go to Dumbo.
Yeah, exactly. Or and also at least have some characters with it as well, Yep. And so this is just the most uninspiring ride. It's a buy off the shelf attraction ride. Just get rid of it. I think it's the worst thing in like all of Disneyland.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is that I don't really see even kids on that ride. It's mostly like adults. Like the kids aren't like, oh yeah, I want to go on that, Dad. My kids never said that. They want to go on Dumbo, and I'm like, oh shit, I guess I gotta take on fucking Dumbo. but I didn't. No, they did not ask to go on Astro Orbiters. They probably couldn't even fucking see that I was there because everyone's in the way. Stupid. All right,
Ken, what's your number one?
My number one, I mentioned this before. The fucking canoe boats.
Oh, really? Really?
Fucking canoe boats. So I've been to Disneyland a million billion times. I've been on every single ride in the park except for the canoe boats. And I will not ride them ever in my life because, number one, I'm not doing any of the fucking work. I'm on vacation. I am on vacation. I am not going to row a boat. I'm not going to do it. The second part of that, I can't remember if I talked to you, but I talked to somebody about this ride. Not only that I'm going to row this boat if I have to go on there, I am so competitive. Even if I'm competitive with myself, I want to somehow either race this canoe boat or be the one to fucking just haul ass. So I'd be there fucking rowing a canoe boat by myself because these fucking motherfuckers on the back are weighing us down like this, trying to take pictures of shit and not canoeing. So I'm not doing that. I'm not going to be the one to fucking get all jacked off of that shit. So no. Hot, sunburn, can't get off it. You are stuck on this ride for however long it takes you to make a fucking circle. It's hot as fuck on that lagoon or on that water. No one's doing their job. there's no what's the thrill? You get to see some Native Americans and some of the hut stuff on the other side. You could do that on the railroad, which is way better. Way better. You got something real quick?
No. Well, finish, and I'll tell you my side. I'll tell you my side.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, and once again, you can see the same exact things without doing any work. You can ride the Columbia. You can ride the train. You can walk. You could take the fucking raft and get onto Tom Sawyer's Island and walk to the backside of Tom Sawyer's Island and see some of the shit. There is no point of the canoes. I will say the best part about the canoes is that maintenance is probably really low. It does actually eat up quite a bit of people if they know that it's even a ride or if it's even running. Stupid queue line. It's in the middle of nowhere. You don't know it's a queue line because it's just fucking like a little ass sign. Same with the raft. The thing is, Tom Sawyer's Island doesn't get anybody on it because no one knows that the fucking rafts even go there. I think there needs to be a bigger sign for that. Tom Sawyer Island is underrated. Anyways, fuck that. That's my number one. Mr. Webbo.
All right. Well, TheCandidCamperr, sir, I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that one. Wait, no, that's okay. I'm not saying so. I'm not going to say it's my favorite ride at all, but it is
your favorite ride.
Now, here's the thing: the big thing I give this ride a big positive for it is that it's not on a track, right?
That's fair. Yep.
You know, so it's so when you're down there too, here's the other thing you have to think of. Yes, you can go on the Columbia, the Mark Twain, or the raft or the train, right? But here's the thing. Those are all from different perspectives. When you're in the canoe, that's also a different perspective. You're way down on the water. That's true. You get to actually be off a track, roam the boat. You could be going this way, that way. So the experience is a little bit different each time. And each canoe has 2 cast members on it. One's in the back, one's in the front. And the one in the front, kind of like with the Jungle Cruise, but they have their own jokes, or they might have a few kind of common ones, but they do have like, you know, jokes that they tell throughout the canoe, and it's very cool. So you have like that cast member interaction there, which I actually really like a lot. And yes, you do have to row and stuff like that. I'm not a really competitive person, so it doesn't bother me. What bothers me about it though, the one thing is that people don't know how to sync together in emotion. Yeah, so you're rowing and like my paddle's hitting other people's paddles because they're messing their paddle up, right? And then there are spots where you do break and you sit for a while and then the cast member makes fun of you, right? So, you know, that's always fun. It's really cool, like when you have the big boat like in front of you, like the Mark Twain or whatever. That's pretty cool. So again, what I like about it is that other perspective for being really down low onto the water. You're not guided by a track. And it kind of feels like you're really just out like in nature, just kind of like rowing the boat. I mean, it's exercise, yeah, and it's hot. You're right, it is hot out there for sure. But if you can get on it like on a nice kind of like more overcast day or something like that, it's really nice. And here's the other positive. While the queue line is not like impressive, since a lot of people don't go on it, it's a very nice ride to get on it like pretty quickly. Like if you want to do something, you don't want to wait for a long time. Yeah, it's like a 5-minute wait. Boom. You get on and you're done. So
how many canoes do they run, do you think?
1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe about 4 to 5 at a time.
Oh, okay. So you're bound to get on it. Yeah, no. You really go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I think each canoe, like there's like it's like 2 people per row too. So I think there's about maybe about 10 people per canoe at least.
Oh, so it eats people up if you need.
It eats people up, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's a good way to think of it. I never thought of it that way, and that's why I love having you on the channel, because you can open up my eyes to other things, and that's the conversation you're supposed to have with another human being. By the way, say your part, you let them say their part, and you can both talk about whatever you want to talk about. And if you agree with them at the end of it, it's okay to do that. Will I ride this ride ever again or ever at all? Fuck no, still not riding it, Mike. But I hear you, and I understand why you find it great, and those things are good. Like, I want to experience all that. I don't want to sit in the sun, and I don't want to row a boat or a canoe. Excuse me. That's the only reason.
All fair.
All right. And just like we did on episode 1 and 2, we are going to give you an honorable mention.
Yes.
Mike, what's your honorable mention?
Honorable mention, Buzz Lightyear Astro Blasters.
Okay. Why?
Yes. Because we have a better version or a better shooting version of a Toy Story ride out in DCA, Midway Mania. Now it's not now Midway is not like laser blasted in space and stuff like that. But for one, Buzz Lightyear, it tends to stop a lot for some reason. I do, however, love the Buzz Lightyear, audio animatronic. That's really cool. I do like the concept of like shooting targets. That's cool. But the ride itself just feels very aged right now. I feel like there could be if this ride got a really good facelift or update, I could see this being something much better that I would actually enjoy. This ride, I kind of just use it to kind of pass the time. The ride is not very exciting either. Sometimes the targets don't even work or register. Again, I know, sometimes the ride too just smells. I don't know if it's like people's BO or something on there or what, but sometimes it just stinks. The camera quality that you see at your pictures.
Oh, dude, so bad.
The worst camera quality I've ever seen in my life, dude. It is horrible. So I'm like, is that even me?
all I can see is like how much your points are, and you're like, I guess that's mine.
Yeah, exactly. Now again, like, it's a ride I'll go on. It's not the worst of the rides, but it's just something I just use to pass the time. It's not very enjoyable, for to speak. I just okay, pew 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 pew. But yeah, it's like I would rather us get something updated or get a whole new attraction there, because again, we have a type of vehicle-based shooting system in DCA that's done much better. The ride is a very basic, slow, vehicle. It's just not for me.
Tomorrowland suffers from identity, and we all know that. Like it does not have an identity anymore. You have a Pixar pier with Pixar stuff, and then you have a Toy Story ride in another place that has nothing to do with Pixar anymore, or in general. And then you have a Star Wars ride that is old from the old place, but then you have a Star Wars land right on the other side. So some stuff doesn't make sense. Not anymore. So yes, what I'm getting at, get rid of it. It's okay. We're okay with it. Everyone's okay with Tomorrowland going goodbye. But I actually kind of enjoy the ride if it works. I feel like every time I go, it's shut down, or every time I go to walk towards it, it shuts down. I don't know why they can't keep that ride open. Yes, Midway Mania is 10 times better. I do like that animatronic. I think the Buzz animatronic is very impressive, and a lot of people don't talk enough about it because it's fucking big. And then also Zurg in there is pretty cool too. I like Toy Story to a certain degree. I like the story of Zurg and Buzz. So I kind of like that a little more than the Midway stuff because I'm not as much of a Woody fan. So it plays to its part. But my honorable mention. Oh, good.
Oh no, so sorry, Ken. I was gonna say, I do agree with you because I really love space stuff, and I do like that the whole Emperor Zurg thing and stuff like that. So even if they took this ride down and gave us like a Buzz adventure versus Emperor Zurg and his army and stuff like that, dude, that would be sick, like a space adventure or something. Dude, that would be dope. Cool. That'd be really cool. So there are elements in this attraction that are cool, like Zurg, Buzz Lightyear, and stuff like that. But just the execution of the ride itself, I'm not really a fan. So that's why, while this isn't on my worst list, it is an honorable mention because if it's short, I'll go on it. If it's just something to pass the time, I'll go on it. But it's not something I really like.
Dude, it'd be cool, and I really wish I would save this for another episode, which I will do it anyways. But having Buzz Lightyear take over Space Mountain, like flying through space and just like blasting things and blasting Zurg and all the other things out of space, it could work. But
no, I mean, I think there's a coaster where like you actually, it's like half dark ride, half coaster. I forgot where it's at, but there's like Buzz Lightyear guns attached to your vehicle, and you go through a coaster part and it stops, and then then you shoot at targets, and then
that's cool.
It goes again. So maybe they can do something like that for Buzz Lightyear, where it's like a thrilling coaster, and like let's say you're flying through space through like Zurg's army or fortress or something. You're blasting at his the enemies and stuff with like the pew 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 or so or whatever. You know, so maybe that, because the coaster part could be like Buzz with his wings, right, where he's like flying through space.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Oh yeah. Oh, I got an idea for another video.
Oh,
But my honorable mention. Okay. People are gonna get mad about this one, and I already know it.
uh-oh.
It's a Small World.
Dun, dun, dun.
I think It's a Small World is very overrated. Number one, I think It's a
Oh,
Small World has one of the longest queues for no reason. When you're on a giant boat and not just one boat, they have like 40 boats in that water at a time, and that queue line is still ridiculously long. But you have pirates on the other side, which is like loading people up like it's nothing. I don't understand why it doesn't work the same. And not only that, too, they have two loading docks, right? Don't they at this one?
actually, you know what? I'll let you finish, but I do have a comment to make about Small World and pirates, and I'll tell you after.
Okay,
I'll tell you after.
cool, yeah. So yeah, it has like a dual loading dock or whatever it is. The next thing too, once you're loaded up, you go around this big ass like bend, and you're like kind of floating in the water. There's nothing to look at unless you look at the facade, but you're already looking at the facade because you're stuck in the line for 2 hours. And then you get into this old, creepy, rickety building. The ceiling has fucking gunk on it. It looks like it's fallen in. The animatronics are not the animatronic, but like the old
Dolls.
puppet dolls just need to be updated. The song never stops songing. It's just songing and songing. Yeah, I'm just songing. No, it's just them singing the same verse over and over and over. It's 15 minutes of torture. And then Disney has done some great things where they added a few IPs in there, which I really loved. I actually thought that was a great touch to what it is. It gave the ride more value to re-ride again. But my thing is that it's the same thing as it was back in early 19 whatever, whenever it was made. I just want something new. And that show building is so big. Like I said, it's a 15-minute boat ride, and it just takes up all the space you have in Disneyland. You could make a whole land just where that ride is, and I think people would be okay with it. I think it's time for the nostalgia train to stop, and instead of getting rid of really, really iconic rides that people want, like Tiana's Bayou Adventure coming in and taking Splash Mountain over, this was something that could have got taken over and fixed. I get that we're representing a whole bunch of countries. That's cool. I get that this music is iconic. I love it. But if you're complaining about space and you're trying to rebuy other places that are not near it so you could build pedestrian walk paths or have to shuttle people over, why don't you look at what you have there? Take out that ride. Take out the lagoon. Take out the what's that other place right next to Autopia? Take out Autopia. Take out the little show building right next to that too.
Oh, Launch
You
Bay.
have Launch Bay. You have acreage at that point. You can put 4-5 different rides over on that whole area. Probably more than that. Give us a Toontown expansion. Like, give us something. So that's pretty much what I got there. Also, it's creepy. If you're not into dolls, like, don't fucking ride that ride. It's not everyone's cup of tea. And I just think it's a once it's done, it's done. Like, once you write it the one time, you know what it's about. You don't got to do it again. And if it breaks down, you're stuck. You can't get out on that ride. There's no walk past to get off. So you're fucking stuck till I fix it.
Well, so that's the same for pirates too. Pirates, you'll see people get broken down the ride and they're stuck there for like 45 minutes. I see it all
Depends on where you're at though. Like, if you get lucky, there's some parts where you could walk off and go like at these little doors, but most of the time you're fucked. Have you seen the cast members that had to like wade through the water and like
those high strap boot things?
Yeah. Dude, which is sketchy because isn't like electronics and shit down there? Like, I feel if you step on something and break it, you're just fucking fried.
See, with pirates, I'd be more scared because you can't see in the water. At least with It's a Small World, like the water is clear enough you can see.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like pirates is all dark and everything, dude. Like that's sketchy.
What were we gonna say about the correlations or whatever?
Yes. So as I'm not sure if you know, Cannon, but recently, the Pirates of the Caribbean attraction the lightning lane was removed after being up there for 6 months or whatever because because of Haunted Mansion and stuff being closed, right? However, here's my thing, right? Everybody agrees, right, that not having lightning lane helps pirates move faster, right? Moves the line faster, right?
Yep.
Here's my question for you though. Because this is a boat ride, right? And we're all in agreement that it moves the line faster without lightning lane. Why aren't we not making the same argument for It's a Small World? Because It's a Small World is also a boat ride. It has 2 loading platforms, okay? Pirates has 1 loading platform, but technically they load 2 boats at the same time. That's why you have a lane on the right side, because the 1 loading platform has a boat that gets off and 2 boats that get on from each side in the same line.
Yeah.
And they both got the same time. So you take It's a Small World, you split that into 2 sides, right? Okay. So right now, the lightning lane, one side is for lightning lane, one side is for standby.
Yeah.
But if they're the same kind of attraction, why are we still having It's a Small World?
I don't know. I don't know. But the thing is, even watching just the mechanics and everything, they're just not as efficient on Small World. And I feel like it's always been like that. Every time I've gone it, it's just not as efficient as Pirates. Pirates, they load you in the spot. You wait for the next boat to come in. You're in the car. The next people are already in the line waiting for 1 through 6 or whatever. And it just continues. And you're not like, you don't even have to sit down and get ready. They're already sending the next boat through Pirates.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right about that. Because I've noticed that we're like, because even though Pirates gets backed up, I feel like with Pirates, they have more of an incentive to move the boats along because you have that ending where people are coming up the waterfall, and eventually it's going to reach that point, and you don't want to sit back and ride.
Yep. And you know what helps contribute to that too? If you remember right before, so if you get into the little remember there's that weird little creepy boat that's on the right side in Pirates that's just abandoned on the side. It's always floating in the water. So right where the bird is, you come right around. There's like a little area, right at the end of the turn, there's a little boat on the right side. Right there's this piece that picks up the boat. Have you ever noticed that? It picks up the boat and kind of launches it forward.
Yeah.
So that, weirdly enough, that could have a play in some of this. I mean, that's a couple of seconds that you're adding to the ride that you're getting. So it picks your boat up and it pulls the next one. So that way 2 more boats can technically go, because they launch like 2 or 3 boats out into the water, and then this thing picks up the next 3 boats and launches them into the standby. And then you load up those boats one by one and then send them out again. So it's almost like a 3 rotation at a time.
Whereas with this Small World, you're just slowly floated into the station.
And then you sit. Yep, you wait for it to come up. They put their little foot on the thing, people get out. So I don't know. There has to be, it might be seconds being saved, but seconds adds up to minutes, and minutes adds up to hours, and those adds up to days. So I'm over it. I think that's what it is. It's a great ride. Ride it. I'm just over it. It's not something I want to do anymore. The kids actually like it, so I have to do it because of kids. It's one of my grandmother's favorite rides too. So every time grandma goes, it's like, oh, we got to ride It's Small World 400 times. So I don't know. That's how I feel.
I will say it's also a great ride too. Let's say if you don't want to go on the train, this is also a great ride for if you want to sit and rest your feet.
Relax. That's fair. Yep. I agree with that. All right, Webba, we're gonna get you out of here. So once again, everybody, this was our Disneyland's top 5 worst rides. Hope you enjoyed them. If you think that we're fucking crazy, leave some comments below. If you agree with any of these, leave your comments below. If you liked any of the rides and you want to tell us why you liked them, let us know, because we'll talk about it on the next channel or on the next show. Mr. Webba, let them know where they can find you.
Absolutely. TheCandidCamperr, thank you, sir, so much for having me on today's show. Always a pleasure. You can find me on social media, on Threads, Instagram, and Twitter at Mr. Webba91. You can also find me on TikTok. At Mr. Webba, at Mr._Webba91. You can also find me on YouTube on Orange Grove 55 with OG and George the Disney Italiano.
Hell yeah. Once again, all their stuff's going to be in the link or description below. Y'all, follow him, Mr. Webba. Give Mr. Webba a follow. Follow me. Find me at TheCandidCamperr on my other YouTube channel. Find me at Bad Thoughts, where I do a podcast with Tones. Shout out to Tones. Go follow OG55 and the crew. George, Citrico Circle. Follow all these people. They're great content creators. If you like Disney and just like theme parks in general, follow them. Hit me up on TikTok, TheCandidCamperr. Also, I just started an Instagram for this account, TheCandidCamperr's Theme Park Thoughts. Check it out. Once again, this is TheCandidCamperr. Watch out for episode number 4, where Mike and I are going to talk about the worst DCA rides in the park, which I think everyone's not going to be surprised at what the worst rides are. So be ready for it. Mr. Webba, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you once again for coming on. And everybody out there, stick to the left.